Look at these logarithm questions. I've picked up 3 examples on here. So first thing is to list out all the rules you need for logs. And we got the sum rule. You have log based on AB plus based on AC. You need to multiply the B and C. If it's subtract, then it's divided. Log based on AB to the power of m, you can put the indices on the coefficient. If you have an indices on the base, then you can do 1 over m as the coefficient of that. And these 2 rules are just using a to the power of log based on ab, and this gives you back a b, and log based on a to the b, which is basically b. Okay, using all the rules here, we'll be able to solve several questions listed like the follows. Okay, the first one, we want to solve the linear system. Usually, what happens is that you are given with x and y, not on the base, but usually it's either in terms of the coefficient or up on the top. So what happens here is, remember this, you can't solve a log system unless you have changed everything to some single logarithms or something without involving any log form. Okay, so to do that, we can use our rule number 5, a to the power of log based on a and b, which is b. So we can do x log based on x, y plus 2 equals to x to the power of 2. Make sure you have done the same thing on both the left hand side and right hand side of the first equation. Okay, so what we can get from the first equation is that we can say, well, y plus 2 equals to x squared. And that's our new form of the first equation given. Okay, we're going to apply the same analogy on the second equation, but this time we're going to put the 2 sides of the equation as the power based on y. Okay, log y, x minus 1 equals to y to the half. So that's my second equation, and this one will give us x minus 1 equals to y to the half. So that's my second equation. Okay, I've got my first one, I've got my second one. So I'm going to find out a way to group them together. The easiest way is to eliminate all the rational indices. So I'm going to substitute y to the half equals to x minus 1 into equation 1. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to do y is basically y half squared, so x minus 1 squared plus 2 equals to x squared. Now if you try to expand this perfect form, or perfect square form, then it's going to be x squared, take 2x plus 1, plus 2 equals to x squared. So to solve this, you can eliminate the x squared, which means negative 2x plus 3 is 0, 2x equals to 3, x equals to 3 over 2, and bring it back to the original function, either one of these 2 equations. So we can say, well, x minus 1 equals to y to the half, then 3 over 2 minus 1 is y to the half, so y to the half is a half, and that basically tells us y equals to half squared, which is 1/4, and that solves our linear system. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is, we want to solve this natural logarithm. So remember this log or natural logarithm is just log based on e. Okay? So using the same analogy on number 5, but this time we're going to replace a by e. So in order to do that, we can first do log x plus 3 equals to 1, and then e to the power of x plus 3 with the absolute value equals to e to the 1. Okay? So the absolute value of x plus 3 is just e. And this time you just have to be really careful because we're involved with the absolute problem. So absolute sign tells that whether inside the number is going to be positive or negative doesn't matter. It all comes out to be the positive. So this means that x plus 3 equals to plus or minus e. So x equals to negative 3 plus or minus e. And to go from here, x either equals to negative 3 minus e or x equals to negative 3 plus e. Okay? And lastly, we're going to solve this logarithm equation. So we have 2 minus log base on 3 x plus 7 equals to log 1 over 3 2x. So this time we're going to have to make sure which rule we should be using. We should be using number 4. The reason is because we're not using the same base. One of them is using the 3, the other one is using the 3rd. So using rule number 4, then we should write the equation to rearrange to log 1/3 is just 3 to the negative 1. 2x. And to continue from here, what we can say is that 2 minus log based on 3x plus 7 equals to 1 over negative 1. Log based on 3, 2x. Okay? Then what we can do is, well, we want to make sure everything is written in a single logarithm. So we prefer to have log based on 3, 3 to the power of 2. So minus log based on 3x plus 7 equals to negative log 3, 2x. Okay? Now, what is log based on 3 squared? It's just log based on 3, 9. Take log 3x plus 7 and log 3, 2x to the negative 1. This is using the rule number 3. But be careful, you're going to have to make sure you put the brackets. This is the whole thing, the whole 2x being raised by a power of negative 1. Okay, now we can use rule number 2. So log based on 3, 9 over x plus 7 is log based on 3, 1 over 2x. You can try to write it this way. So of course, then therefore, 9 over x plus 7 is 1 over 2x. To solve this, you go cross multiply. 9 times 2x. 2x equals to 1 times x plus 7. So 18x equals to x plus 7, and that tells us 17x equals to 7, and x equals to 7 over 17. And that's the answer. Okay, so to summarize this up, we have used 3 questions to summarize pretty much all the rules you will be involved in the test in logarithm. And this is usually happening in year 11 mathematics test.